Hey, welcome to Straight Up with Steve and Stevona. I'm Steve Hernandez.
And I'm Stevona Delgado.
And we're coming at you live from the Chatterbox in Covina, California, the best dive bar in Southern California. Come out and visit, won't you? Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Stevona, we're at 40 subscribers.
Crazy. And almost all, there's only one video that doesn't have over 100 views. That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess Stevona hasn't. I've been part of some big things. I'm not disappointed by these numbers at all, but it's a great start. But here's the thing. This is our first goal. If you're listening, we need to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And truly, I know a lot of you old heads don't watch YouTube, but there's so many more of you that do. You don't get the full experience unless you're watching this. I heard Stevona grabs her bits at some parts. That's what Greg told me about a certain episode. This is a real thing. I don't know. You know what you're
because I do this.
Yeah, Stevona. Yes, that's grabbing the bits.
It's my new thing now lately.
Oh, yeah, grabbing my bits is my new thing. I didn't
know what you meant by that. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm trying to say so we don't have to get bleeped out or anything like that.
Okay.
I don't just like saying grabbing my bits for nothing.
That's why in last episode you were asking me if I was having whoopee the other day.
I'm trying to make it easy for it. I'm trying to make this thing kid friendly.
Oh gosh.
The potato diet is over. I can't do it anymore. It's disgusting. The last, I think it was last week. Or the week before, it was just like making me sick. It was literally making me sick. So every time I was about to put another potato in my mouth, I wanted to throw up.
Oh.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. It's on to the next one. Now I really want to focus on working out, and I believe that diet will soon follow. And I really just, as long as I stay away from fast food, that's the big thing. Fast food.
Just walk.
I do that too.
You walk? How often do you walk?
I walk and lift weights. Like enough, fair enough times. I do need to do it more, but
enough.
Stevona is wearing her anklet. You said you had something to talk about on this
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, I have such a funny story to tell you.
Okay.
It just gives me the giggles. It's not. I mean, it's kind of funny. Okay,
this is gonna be bad, but go on.
No, but it's funny because I had okay. So those of you that don't know, I have a bit of a following on Instagram. Okay. It's not a loyal following, I'll tell you that right now, okay? So I do get paid to post promotional videos. Now sometimes
anybody who follows Stevona knows this. I just saw that she did one for a car detailing company.
I needed that though.
They gave you a free car detailing, right?
Yes, they detailed my car for free, and they came to my house to do it. But they only could do it at 8 a.m.
Oof.
And it was after a Chatterbox night, and it was when I was in my little White Claw phase. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like only 3 weeks ago, but it's a good time.
So if you will give Stevona anything for free, she will rep it on Instagram.
I have to need it.
But yeah, that car detailing thing, I was like, oh my God, I know she did this just for the car detailing. Go on.
Yes, but sometimes, but like big companies, like corporations, because like, mind you, the car detailing, small business, I support small businesses. I'm all about getting minorities up off the ground, you know me. But these big corporations, right, fuck them. We want to take them for all the money that they can give. So when they email me telling me that they have a promotional video and we will exchange budgets to see if it's a yes or if it's a no, and we came to a good budget that I was like, okay, cool, like this is what I charge everybody, and the company said yes. So I was like, awesome, this is what I charge all the time. So I post the video. It's a dating app video. And one of your good friends, Amy Miller, is not bad, but she messaged me and she goes, oh, I just wanted to know how much they paid you to post it on your profile, because they also contacted me, but I think that my budget was too high. So I'm like, okay, telling her how much they paid me, $400. I'm not scared to say they paid me $400.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, that's cute. My budget was in the fucking thousands.
Yeah.
You can bleep it out. $3,500. $3,500, and we don't have much of a difference on Instagram following. Her engagement is a lot better. My engagement is very low for the following that I have, which is why I don't take a very high price. But like, I do have people that watch a lot though, and I'm like $3,500, and she's like, I told her, I said, bitch, I need to aim higher. And I just felt so bad because I'm like, damn, Mexicans really are stealing the white people's job, you know, because she was.
You were willing to undercut the white woman.
She charged too much, and I said, I'll do it for $400.
You know, I love Amy Miller. She's one of my good friends. We used to have a big podcast together called Who's Your God? But Amy is very upfront with other comics. She likes to tell other comics how much she got paid, especially other women.
I love that.
Yes.
Because I was going to ask her anyways.
Yeah, because if you don't, when people talk about money and in real life and all that stuff, and they say, oh, we don't want to talk about money, or don't talk about how much you got paid or anything like that. Businesses, corporations, all that stuff, they want you to do that so that they don't have to pay people fairly. And so when comedians and everybody, in whatever industry you're in, if they talk openly about how much they're getting paid, then they can't take advantage of anyone.
But some people suck and deserve to get paid less.
That maybe not.
But yeah, that's where that asking how much is rude or whatever, like that was made up by corporations.
But
because
look at it,
if they gave somebody a raise.
Yeah. And Amy's been around for a long time. She gets paid to do this kind of stuff. She gets paid by big corporations to do certain things. And, you know, a lot of them influence stuff. They'll say, oh, I need 3 stories from you. I need a post on Maine, that kind of stuff. And for that, we'll pay you this. But
it wasn't nothing like that. It was just like one Instagram post. Took me 2 minutes to make, really.
But how much, I mean, how much could you get from them is the question. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you're correct. But I'm like, damn, I didn't know we could aim that high. Like, what the I'm lowballing myself. Like, 400. Good. I could have had my rent paid, toes did, lashes on.
I know. Imagine Stevona actually paying her mom rent. How incredible that would be. But yeah, that's with money stuff. You always have to talk about it. Because $400. That sounds like a good amount of money. And trust me, I would do a post for $400. Anybody. But now that you know you can ask for higher. Now you're going to start to ask for higher, right?
Yes, now I'm
Even
going to
if
start
it's just
to ask
double,
for her.
right?
Yes, and it's all thanks to Miss Amy Miller.
Yeah, Amy's the best about that stuff. We love you, Amy. We'll have you on the pod as soon as I can get you to drive out to Covina for the pod. I'm going to a music fest this weekend in Utah.
Mormon City.
Utah
Rocks.
is beautiful. I've actually never been. We're going to. It's called the Kilby Music Block Party. I couldn't deny the price. It was 4 days, $300 to see a bunch of bands that I want to see. We should not have done it. I'm too old for music. Do you still like music? You don't strike me as someone who likes music a lot.
I go through my phases.
Yeah.
I just started getting back into music. I was in a podcast thing where I just did not want to listen to any music. I felt like I listened to all the music there was for all the times I'm on the fucking road. Then I'm like, I need to listen to people talk, and then I listen to my friends. I'm also in this season of my life where I'm not really listening to any big media, like any big pop-in, I guess, like podcast creatives, you would say. I'm more so focusing on my friends and trying to give my friends the views and my friends the shares and the likes, rather than like these big people that have already kind of made it. That's kind of where I'm at in my life.
But you must not have a big podcast that you really like then.
I do. I have one that I listen. I have like 2 that I listen
What
to
are
all
they?
the time. Behind the Likes and also Canceled. Do you know who Tana Mojo is?
No, but it's called Canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen clips of that one.
Yeah, they're 2 white girls. You like them. They're 2 white girls.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen clips of them.
They're funny. I love them.
Do people really get canceled anymore?
They try to, but it doesn't last. I mean, not they try to. It doesn't last long because everybody's canceling left and right. Like if I got canceled, like just give it 3 months. Another person gonna get canceled too.
Well, it's like if someone commits a crime, then they go to jail. That's canceled, right?
Yes, but now people want to cancel you if you like make a racist comment for fun.
Yes.
Things like that.
By the way, making a racist comment for fun is something that Stevona came up with. That's just a racist comment, folks. Because the KKK is always making racist comments for fun. They're always joking about Mexicans and black people, for fun.
And then in the damn it.
That's racist jokes.
Okay, but sometimes they be like cool with it. Like they be cool. Like
Sure,
when we go
sure.
up there, like, damn it, I'm not gonna be able to talk myself out of this one. But we comedians, so like a lot of things that people say are racist, but they're funny,
I mean, you definitely do push the line. We talked about it on last week's episode with KJ. You definitely do push the line with some of the things you say, but I don't think you ever say anything negative. I really don't. I do think it, and of course I know that you're coming from a place of love.
Right, and I'm all about positive racism. Like, I believe the stereotypes are true, the positive ones. Black people are athletic. Mexicans are hard workers. Chinese people are smart,
Not all black people are athletic. That's actually my new phrase.
Pretty much. 99% of them.
No, Stevona.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. And all Asian people don't pick their nose.
No, all Asian people don't pick their nose.
All right.
All people of all shades and colors pick their nose.
Not in public, though.
Greg, have you even heard of that one?
All the people I see pick their nose in public is Asian.
I mean, you might be hanging out in Asian neighborhoods or something. I've never heard this one. Forgive us. I'm sorry, Internet. Do not cancel us. We're on episode 5, for Christ's sake. I really have not heard of that one. You can't just take a single experience you have.
I wasn't single.
Don't you hate when Salvadorians break up with you all the time? You can't say stuff like that.
I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed that one. I'm just kidding. I just feel like, the Asians, they get away with a lot.
No, they don't.
We sweep them under the rug a
Nobody
lot.
sweeps Asians
We
under
need to show them more love. We need to make fun of them more to show them that they cool too.
There is that school of thought, but Lisa Lampanelli and Don Rickles and people like that, they say, I roast everyone because I love them. If you don't roast someone, if you don't make fun of them, then you're not treating them as an equal. And I just don't necessarily believe in that school of comedy, but Stevona might,
You do it in a nice, positive way, okay?
Roasting someone.
Nice and positively.
Yeah, like Asians always pick their nose.
If that's the worst thing I can say about Asians, so be it.
But truly between you and me, that no...
I don't think they brought that corona over here. I don't think they did that.
Nobody said... That's not one either.
Oh, Trump said it.
Maybe Trump did say
Trump said from China.
Well, people do believe that it did come from a lab. People believe it came from a lab in China.
Yeah, but that's not their fault.
Nobody
That's
said
not
it was.
the Chinese fault. Yeah, I know. I'm sticking up for them. All the people that do.
I just think that being canceled is like a fake thing. I think sometimes, but like Chris D'Elia, I think he's kind of canceled.
Anyway, I still see him around though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He'll still. They still book him at the Laugh Factories and at the Improvs.
Yeah.
But he was playing arenas. Or not arenas. He was playing theaters. And he'll still sell out a bunch. So people don't care that he liked underage girls, allegedly. Have you seen any of the stuff on Chris D'Elia?
Yes. And what do you think about him even like playing a pedophile in that Netflix series? I thought that was very bold, and he deserves to go to hell.
He played a in Workaholics and in You.
And you notice he's so good at it because he doesn't have to act.
He's really
Those
locking in.
That's
on
the only
who
parts he gets.
I know he was trying to hook. There's a lot of evidence that he was trying to hook up with underage girls, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds like that. But like I said, I think he's kind of canceled.
Keep him away from me.
He can't perform. He can't perform at the Comedy Store. That's cool.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He can't? Oh, okay. That's
He
cool.
used to, but the Comedy Store actually that's one where it's like he can't perform there. So that's pretty cool. But I think generally, if people don't commit crimes, it's hard for that kind of cancellation to stick. Even Louis, who I think did some pretty effed up stuff, he's back. I think he sells at theaters and everything. Louis C.K.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The worst part about the Louis C.K. stuff, I think, it isn't that he just exposed. Everyone thinks that, he exposed himself to women and jade off to him. Everyone thinks that that's the worst part. And I do think, that is awful and stuff. But the real worst part is he lied for decades and said that he didn't do that. So he called these women liars for decades, derailed their careers, and then finally goes, oh, okay, I was lying. I think that's really effed up.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you're a woman and he did that to you and then, he told his high-powered manager, make sure people aren't going to mess with those women. If he says, oh, those women are lying, they're making that up. And then those women are not going to do stand-up anymore. They're not going to do comedy anymore because you got this guy calling you a liar. No one's going to believe you. People still don't believe women, so.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I say we need to bring stoning back.
Stoning?
Yeah. I'll just fucking throw rocks at these motherfuckers until they're dead.
Though, they probably would have done that to the women. When Louis C.K. said they were lying, they would have stoned the women.
Ah, damn, it's hard out here for us women. It really is.
Oh,
well, that's why I say we should also bring chastity belts back too. And I've been like fighting that good fight on that.
Chastity belts, that's true. What do you think a chastity belt is?
So nobody gets your cookie.
First off, I don't think it's a real thing.
What? It was in the 1600s. It was a big thing. It was popular.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Maybe it was a thing, but I think I've only seen it in like movies and stuff. Because how would the woman pee?
The dad has to give him the key.
Every time? You think even ancient dads, didn't they have better things to do?
I mean, I'm sure that they had like servants. It was kind of like, I think it was kings or something. But the reason why is because they would sell or trade their daughters. So they had to trade them as virgins.
Okay, so do you think, what's more likely, that they just kept them away, or that they actually put on metal belts that they had to unlock and lock every time they went to the restroom?
Metal belts. They was doing some crazy shit, man. They was swinging that metal ball with the spikes on it.
That's a mace, folks. She's describing a mace. I don't think
they had you in the. Remember, you get in trouble. They have you in those wooden things like this. That's crazy too. Tell me, was that only in movies also? And they keep it like this. What does that do?
They would do that when someone committed some kind of crime or something. They would do that, and people would throw fruit at them.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Greg, do you think chastity belts were real?
I take your point. I think it would be impractical.
Yeah, right?
Maybe if you're like really rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the kings, and it's named after the great Chastity.
Is that real?
She was the first ever woman to be taken advantage of, and they were not able to sell her for 10 goats and 2 cows. So after that, they made the chastity belt.
Well, now I know for a fact it's not real. Not just the stuff that came out of her mouth, but yeah, women were just property all the time before like that. And even in the Bible it talks about this, but if in the Old Testament, there were times where a man would sexually assault a woman, and then the punishment was the guy had to marry her. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what story I was reading in the Bible?
What's that?
Earlier?
Yeah.
I think his name is Lot, but his daughters get him drunk and have sex with him.
Yeah.
To have babies.
Yes.
And I'm like, what in the world?
I mean,
the stories are crazy, but then I also have to remind myself, like, these are people, and these are like people that were new to the world, so of course they're gonna do stupid shit because we only evolve right? As we've been here longer, and they were BC.
Sure. I mean, and if you think about it, if there were when man began, when they evolved, you had to have sex with your siblings, right?
Oh,
It doesn't. Of course, that's true, right?
yeah, but how come they didn't come out like?
Maybe they did at first. Maybe that we slowly, as there was more and more, got to be more people, then there was more diversity in DNA, so that they started to become more normal.
And then, oh no, I was gonna say like, then if we're all like cousins or brother and sister, then like, well then yeah, how are there Asian people?
I just want to apologize to Asians today.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
No, 'cause, like, I was gonna say-
I get what she's saying. She's not saying anything bad about you right now, but consistently bringing up you guys who are great, nice people.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Just hang out with me one day.
Actually,
I don't
some
mean
of
it.
you could be pretty bad people too. It's hard to say. That's the thing about stereotyping entire races. I believe that there are bad Asians and good Asians, gay Asians and non-gay Asians, gay trans people, men and women who can drive and who do, in fact, pick their nose and don't pick their nose. Because all people, despite their race, are the same, merely seeking love and acceptance. Our guest today is so funny. Her name is Gigi Garcia. She's a host here at Chatterbox. She's so funny. We're going to get to know her big time. Thank you, and we'll be right back with Gigi Garcia.
Yay!
Welcome back. We have with us the very funny Gigi Garcia. How are you doing, Gigi?
I'm doing great, Steve. How you doing?
I'm okay.
If only you guys were here.
No, we'll tell him. We'll just tell him. We lost a file, so we recorded like 35, 40 minutes of this thing.
And it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Really good stuff.
We were vibing.
We were vibing. Gigi let out some really personal secrets.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she was a freak like that, but now we know.
Now no one's gonna know. I don't want to say it again.
Then we lost the file. Poor Greg was like basically started sweating out of nowhere. It was so sad.
He had to make a 40-minute drive
breakdown.
home.
I drove back to Monterey. We went and had pizza. So you're getting now an entirely different podcast than what you would have got. But it could be for the better because we're much more relaxed. We had a long, leisurely pizza lunch
Yeah, we didn't bring
with
Greg any
previous
food
guest,
back.
Sylvia
nice and
Deanda,
lethargic.
and Joshua Benjamin. Which, by the way, we ordered an extra large pizza, a big salad, a place called Michelangelo's in San Dimas. And I mean, a few of us are some of the fattest people you've ever met at the table. Not these two. And there was still a slice of pizza left. I don't like that. Because give me a break. If it would have been me and Julia, I would have dusted almost all that pizza. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, you got fat because you're only eating a couple of slices? Do we think that's how it went down? How many slices did you have, Gigi?
I had 2 slices of pizza, but I also had some wings and a salad.
Okay, and what did you have, Stevona?
I had 2 slices, but my tooth was killing me. I would have went more ham, but my tooth was killing me. And then, yeah, we said we were gonna bring Greg back some food, and we ended up just throwing that slice of pizza in the
We're like,
trash.
well, no one's gonna eat it. Sorry, Greg.
Gigi's so funny. You're from Bakersfield. What was that like?
I'm from Bakersfield. It's like the rumors are true. It's hot. It's dry. It's kind of like a town divided. I mean, I don't go there as often anymore.
Are your folks still together?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Damn. Unfortunately? You really don't think they should be together anymore?
Me and my brother have told them for years they should get divorced.
Do they fight a lot?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But it also, I don't know, I don't know if it's just that toxic Mexican love where I'm like, I know they can't live without each other.
Are they affectionate towards each other?
No.
Not
Oh.
at all.
No, not at all.
I'm all speaking like I
yeah,
know
no,
them.
Stevona knows because I be bitching about it. I'm like, I just wish my parents would like kiss each other.
They don't kiss at all.
They don't show
And
any
they just fight.
affection.
Yeah. But then it's like, I don't know, it's like the little things. Like my dad will heat up her car in the morning before she has to go to work, or they're like, they support each other in different ways, but like physically affectionate, nah, it's not really their style.
I guess it's not like their love language, right? Like physical touch. Maybe it's more
It's
like
definitely
acts
not my
of
mom's.
service.
Yeah, they do a lot for each other, so that's why I'm like, they show it in different ways, but just in terms of like general like familial like affection, it's why I'm in therapy now.
Would you? Do you think? Are you against PDA, public displays of affection?
For a long time I was.
Yeah.
I felt very closed off in general, like in all aspects. But I feel like that's something.
What are you laughing at?
Because I'm like, I like PDA. I'll do a little handsy every now and then.
When you were with your long-term lover, Stevona, whenever you guys were together, I remember I never saw it. No, people didn't know you guys were even together.
Yeah, but he sucked. We're on to a new one now. We're on to a new one now, and I love it.
So you
can't get enough.
You do like PDA, huh, Stevona?
Yeah, I do. Not in front of my family though, but again, that's some weird Catholic.
If you're out with friends, if you're at the bar, right?
Yes.
And you're perfectly cuddle little, like you should be cuddle with.
Yes. I love to be held. That my parents are really affectionate with each other, and I've always been like held and always. So I don't mind when people are like all up on me or anything like that. I just don't like to make it weird for like other people.
Sure.
You know, like there's like a third person there, then I don't like PDA.
Yeah, it's
like Greg, producer Greg.
Yeah, like if it was me, my lover, and producer Greg, I'd be like, don't touch me.
Yeah. Read the room.
Like just keep videotaping Greg while we do our thing. What changed for you that made you accept PDA again?
Honestly, I think it was growing affection towards my friends in like not necessarily a romantic way, but even like I used to be like, this was years ago, but I would even be like don't even touch me, like don't even hug me.
Damn.
You know, like don't come near me.
I used to be like that too, but like pick me vibes.
Yeah. Whoa, what?
What do you
Pick
mean?
me vibes. Like don't touch me. I don't like that, but really I did. So like I want you
Oh
to.
no, because I didn't like it. Like for like friends would like like. I remember being in high school and having like girlfriends that are very like touchy or rest their head on you, and I just be like, get off of me.
That's me.
And then throughout, and maybe looking back, I'm like, maybe I just didn't like them, because now I find myself around friends where I am just like I'm becoming a hugger. I'm like showing affection. So I think it's just kind of it's come with age.
I'd be throwing myself on you.
Yeah. And I let her.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about female friendships is that you guys could be affectionate with each other, hold hands, and hug and all that stuff. I want that with me and Greg, but he's so nervous.
Yeah.
And we saw how much he sweated when he lost the card, the memory card. I was like, "Is it hot in here?" Greg's like, "No."
Poor thing. He didn't want to let us down, but he did.
I'm not mad. I'm just furious.
Yeah, we're not mad.
Now you've got those India RE vibes though. I would wonder what and you do ever since I met you. You've got a very pure heart, pure soul. What was your relationship with God growing up?
Growing up, it was very typical, like stereotypical Mexican experience, like very Catholic. I did the whole 9 yards in the Catholic church, like baptism.
Molested.
Yes, communion.
You don't hear about the women getting molested much in the Catholic
and that's
church.
what I don't like about the Catholic church.
My big
It's
complaint.
always the guys.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, take them.
Yeah. Father didn't even look at me. But even throughout high school, like making my confirmation, and then in turn I've like baptized like my nephews, so I have like godsons and everything. So I've always been connected to it, but I myself am not like a church goer. But I do think there's still a lot of Catholic guilt, which pushes me to be a good person. I'm just kidding. But I do feel very spiritual. So I feel like having that upbringing, I've moved away from the church itself, but just in terms of like having like a belief in God or something, having faith.
Do you experience a lot of guilt still about things?
Yes, but it's gotten better.
When she masturbates.
Yeah.
Really? Would you?
No.
She makes herself go sit in a corner.
And masturbate some more.
I do have to do it in the dark, but
No, otherwise I'll put chili on her hands.
you know what? I don't have guilt of like, oh yeah, I'm masturbating. God wouldn't like this. It's more so if I'm like masturbating or doing anything, intimate, then I'm like, is my grandma watching? It's
Wow.
like,
Yeah, no, that makes your grandma gay.
yeah.
If she's watching you do that.
There's just not much to do in heaven, Stevona. You got to watch your grandkids jack off.
Because you know what? I do feel like I'll see signs from, I'm also like very like, if I see anything, I'm like, oh, that's a sign from my grandma. Oh, that's a sign from my grandpa, So I'll see it like around, and then I'm like, she's always watching.
Yeah.
There's some stuff she shouldn't see.
Well, my dad's urn is in my room right now, so that's off the table for me.
But you don't masturbate, though.
Once in a while.
I don't believe that. Why would a girl who doesn't masturbate choose to masturbate every once in a while?
I know, right?
Well, we're discovering more and more things about Stevona. She like lets things slip. I forgot. Oh yeah, that one was off the podcast, so we don't have to bring it up. But Yes, let me tell you something. As a bartender at a primary Latino bar, it is very interesting to hear Mexican chicks talk about masturbating and sex and stuff. I'm starting to think that they don't know what it is or what it means to them.
It's when you're spinning that track, DJ.
Is that a masturbate? Is that how you masturbate? Like a DJ scratching the record?
I don't want to show anybody.
I don't want you to show it either. We're on YouTube, for Christ's sake.
I thought you were asking for
No,
a
but
demonstration.
No, absolutely not. No, Stevona.
I don't think so.
There's our small shorts, okay? Save it for your OnlyFans, all right?
No, remember you said don't make OnlyFans.
Which, by the way, speaking of OnlyFans, I think you found out about the Chatterbox from Mala Munoz, right?
Yeah, Mala and Dominic. I remember they were two of the first comics that I had met. I was doing a lot of sketch comedy first, and then pandemic, So I wanted to transition into stand-up, and then I had been following them already because they had their platforms. And I ran into Mala at a roller skating event in Long Beach, actually. That was our first meeting. And then she was saying, you should come out to Chatterbox. And I remember coming out at the first time I did the open mic. I don't know if you remember. I remember because Mala was here, and I got to chat with her more, and then just...
I do remember, just because I remember all the boys going crazy for you, truly.
Sorry.
I knew, babe, and you were pretty funny too. That's what's interesting, because in LA, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of stand-ups, but a lot of them are trying to be actors or something. They got no respect for the art, and so a lot of times you got to watch. I mean, that's what I thought. Julia, when I first met Julia, I thought she was an actor, and I was like, who needs these hot babes? Nah, I need funny babes. You know what I mean? But you got up and you were very funny. But I remember all the boys tripping over themselves. They didn't see what I saw, though.
They didn't see my pureness?
Yeah, your pure Christian heart. You know what? Only a sociopath messes with a pure Christian-hearted girl like Gigi.
Yeah, don't I know it?
Yeah. But, that's one thing, too. I brought up OnlyFans and Mala for this reason. Mala, I love you. I know you listen to the pod, but I've always been so upset that your OnlyFans only contains you roller skating. Granted, I think she's in bikinis and stuff sometimes, but an OnlyFans with only a roller skating account really bums me out.
I think it's genius.
I think
Keep
it's a
on
really smart
scamming
move, girl. That's a business
Run
girl
their
if I've ever
pockets
seen
dry.
one.
They suck anyways.
They don't.
They deserve it.
She's not conning anyone, because she says very clearly, this is only this. If you say that up front and a guy still subscribes and then gets mad, that guy's a fucking idiot. As long as you're up front with what you're posting, then you can charge however you want it. If people want to give you money, they can give you money. I'm all for giving women money, okay?
I didn't even know she tells people that it's only roller skating.
She does. I remember I looked at it, and then I've talked to her about it.
Oh, it's said, by the way, only roller skating.
Yeah, it's only roller skating.
But not when she relaunched hers, because she relaunched it again when we were in Austin, and that's when she was trying to get me on the wave. And then she was she relaunched it to pay off her parking tickets, because she just moved to LA, so she had all these parking tickets. So she's like, F it. And then she made $2,000 her first week. I don't know. I think she just relaunches it again when she has big payments and then closes it down.
And she's just roller skating. I'm gonna talk to her because
no
I could get
bathing
into
suit pictures
that.
too, because I was taking bathing suit pictures of her on the. I was taking her pics.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about this in the intro, Steve, and I know you wouldn't ever do OnlyFans, but let me ask you, why wouldn't you do it?
Because I don't want no one to see me naked.
Very simple
This
answer.
too juicy. I just so awkward, and I feel like I do stand up too. I just feel like they don't mix, and
Yeah.
I feel like if people were to see me on stage, I mean, geez, I'm just so voluptuous, and it's just so sexy. I mean, that's all they're gonna be able to notice, and I look right past my jokes and can't have that for myself.
It's always so nice, if people compliment you, tell you you're beautiful or whatever, but there is that feeling as a comic where it's okay, but am I funny?
Yes, because we know we're beautiful.
That's fine. You don't need to tell me that. Did you laugh at my joke?
Well, the laughs are there or they're not, so you guys both have nothing to worry about.
Thanks. Yeah, but I would not do it. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, it seems like too much work.
I don't know if you guys have experienced the recession. It's first off, I didn't know if you know this, but it's controversial. They say there is not a recession going on right now.
Fuck them. I already know who that is.
Who's they?
Yeah.
The Trump supporters, right? Because they want to fake it. Because they want to be like, it's not him.
It's kind of Trump supporters, but it's also kind of, it's like rich people or whatever.
Entrepreneurs.
They look at the stock
V.
market, and based on the stock market, a lot of times there are real specific indications about whether or not we're in a recession. My father-in-law could explain it. He has explained it to me. I can't do it right now. But there's just a couple of things to look at. But I don't know. Technically, we might not be anyone in one because of the stock market, but everybody I know is hurting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion. I don't think we've ever not been in a recession.
Well, since 2008, since the big housing, it's debatable about, we've done better as a country and everything. But
Yeah. I remember shit being real good when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Is that 2008 for you?
2008. Yeah, I think my parents were together. We had a swimming pool. We had a dog and a motorhome. Dude, we had it all at one point. Like, I think about it, so I like, fuck.
What went wrong for you guys?
My mom and dad just weren't getting along. My dad couldn't really hold a job, not for no reason. He just doesn't really fucking like to work. He's more of a creative. And yeah, I mean, he called himself the Wanderer because he would just wander from job to job.
He called
And
himself
this
that?
is your dad who's passed, right?
Yes, and my dad was in the movie business for a long time. He was a grip for a very, very long time, but he worked all the way in Burbank. And then my mom said they fired him because he was like late all the time. And then it just got really hard for him to make money. And so my mom was like, bye. Which she does. I feel so bad because the stepdad that I have right now, that's like the only guy to ever like have money and like actually support her when she wants stuff. It's so sad.
Oh.
Well, I mean, she's got it now, right?
She's got it now. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got
that's
it
when
now.
you want
And
your mom
he's
to have it.
At 67 years old?
Better than, I mean, when you're retired is the best. That's when you want it. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's why I don't necessarily have like daddy issues, as in like, oh, I'm a whore because I don't have a dad, but I have daddy issues. Whereas in like, I fall in love with men who are broke because I just look for their personality and if they take care of me well, because that was my dad. Like, we didn't really have money like that, but he was like, Pooh, everything is so good, and he would be like, it's better to be poor than to be rich because it's really hard to make yourself happy when you're rich.
Without backing that up at all.
No.
You can't just say that. It's just better to be poor. Trust me, babe.
That's now I am attracted to like men that are like, they don't got no money, but I'm like, it's okay, but it's like, it's not okay.
But I'm too empathetic because then I'm like, oh, it's a recession. No one's got money right now.
Yes, I can't fucking do that. I gotta stop.
Well, I'm a very generous person. I like paying for things, and if you let me, I'll pay for everything before the baby. But dude, it was my mom's birthday, and she's like she's trying to eat healthy. She has diabetes, but every time I see her, she's not eating healthy. But I don't think my mom understands. I don't know if you guys parents are the same. My mom doesn't understand like nutrition and stuff at all. I remember when her and my dad got a divorce, like we'd go to her house and my mom would have like a bag of Crazy Bread for dinner.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
girl dinner.
Yeah, I feel like I moved out of my home when I was like 18 to go to college. And since me and my brother both moved out, anytime I go visit, it's like their fridge turned into a frat house. And all they have is like beer and sliced cheese. And I'm like, what do you guys eat? And she's like, there's crackers. What do you want?
Well, she goes for her birthday was on Monday, and we told her, hey, what do you want to do? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to eat. And I was like, I can cook you salmon. I make a mean salmon. We'll cook you salmon, make this salad that Julia makes that you really like. And she's like, oh, that'll be good. That's what we'll do. And then I told my older brother, and he was like, nah, man, let's go out. And he's like, let's just go out. Mom will want to go out more. And I was like, nah, she wants to eat right. We'll cook it at home and stuff like that. But then I forgot. My mom is like... My mom's the type of woman that ever since I turned 18 or 19 and got a job where I could pay for her, where we would go out, she would order a steak everywhere we went. Everywhere. Well done. Cheesecake Factory steak? Like, why? That's a $50 thing 20 years ago. I was like, why? But so I text my mom. Me and my brother were arguing about it. And then I text I was like, let's just see. I'll do whatever mom wants. And then I texted her. I said, "Do you want to go out, Mom, or do you want to cook at home?" And she said, "Well, I guess it would be more affordable if we ate at home." And I was like, "We'll go out, Mom. We'll go to Outback. It's fine." We went to Outback. There were 7 of us plus the baby. Guess how much the bill was?
$700.
No.
Oh.
Half that.
Oh.
Which it still was, in my opinion, a lot. $360 out the door with everything.
That's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna. My mom and her husband are not
To
gonna pay.
just shit that all out later is a lot.
I mean, truly. My mom and they're not going to pay. So it's my sister who's like getting a divorce, who's broke, and my brother. And I was just like, and so my sister brought my nephew. Anyways, I paid $160, and then my brother and sister each paid $100. But $160 on like a Monday, I was like, God damn! I was like $360 for Outback. God damn!
Yeah.
That's rough.
No, and then you were saying that we went to go eat at the pizza spot earlier, which, by the way, shout out Michelangelo's. We love
Yeah, it's in
there.
a place near Glendora called San
We only had to
Dimas.
drive 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah. It's in San Dimas. And when Stevona first described the place, she's like, "Oh, it's right down the street." And then she was like, "It's near Glendora." And then we're just driving. I was like, "Is this Michelangelo's in San Dimas?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "That's it's not." And she's like, "Well, it's technically near Glendora." I was like, "Everything's near Glendora if that's what we're doing." Come on, what do you think?
But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It
It
was
was
delicious. Y'all need to go check it out. Sponsor me. Oh, maybe they could sponsor us.
No,
But, yeah.
The only ones eating there.
You're like, "F- the potato diet.
If you're doing a car detailing thing, you can get anything off them. Yeah, throw some wings my way. I'll do a post.
All right, but you were saying that they charge us $3.50 for the drinks.
I noticed that at Outback too. They're starting to charge $4 for a soft drink now.
They've always been that expensive, and when I used to have to go eat out with my dad, we would have to share a drink.
Well,
We couldn't get our own.
They haven't always been that expensive.
But this is also like a Jack in the Box too. We had to share the
That's
cup.
all right. That's all right. You didn't need your own individual drink. Damn,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
did.
know. I didn't know your poor dad was a washout, Steve. Everything's starting to make sense for me now.
Yeah, but he was good at everything else, just not making money. Everything else good.
And you always felt provided for. Did you ever have to worry about money growing up?
Yeah. I mean, my mom would hate me saying that, but we definitely weren't like well off for most of like we moved around a lot. We like lived with my grandparents for a while. My dad had a job for a while, but he also had a lot of medical problems. So he'd be in and out of work, and then my mom would be in and out of work. So it's just like, they definitely, they did what they could. Like, we were obviously fed, we weren't malnourished in any way. But, yeah, financially not strong, but emotionally, I'm like, I have daddy issues. My issue is that he treated me too well. So now if guys try to talk to me, I'm like, my dad would never do that.
Yeah, I'm like, my dad would never do that. My dad would, he wouldn't pay for that either.
Yeah, he wouldn't pay.
That is crazy though. That's just life. I guess when I think about my own life or my parents or anything, it's just like bad things just happen out of nowhere. If an injury or something like that. My poor mom, she married her husband, a guy now named David, who I think has just turned 60, but she was like 8 or 9 years older than him. And so we're like, oh yeah, you got this young guy. He was a machinist. And then maybe like 3 or 4 years after they got together, I think he was pretty young still, like maybe 50
It's
or
like
two
some Jesus
or something
guy.
like that. He had like got just crazy back issues where he just can't work anymore.
Yeah.
And to be a young guy like 52, 53 who's used to working all the time, and now he can't really work anymore. He's got back trouble all the time. I'm like, fuck, that sucks, man. Like my poor mom. That's just like, and that poor guy too. It's just but that's life, right?
Yeah, that's what happened to my dad. He was like in his mid 30s, I want to say, and he worked in a tire shop. So he was working on cars and selling tires and stuff, and he started off with back issues, and then next thing you know, he has gout, and he's getting arthritis, and he's like a young guy, but he's been working, like he started working in the field when he was a teenager, so he's just like hard work catches up, and then next thing you know, you're out of the house.
My dad got a job. My uncle got my dad a job at the post office, and then they fired him because he was too slow.
What's up? Your dad had gout?
My dad, he still does.
Is he fat?
He's a hefty guy.
I always felt something between you and me. No,
She does talk about gout a lot in her set.
Yeah, no, I've been making gout jokes, What's crazy is for a while I feel like it was under control, and just like I saw him just like not too long ago, or I was talking on the phone with him.
His weight or his gout?
His gout.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you doing? Like, you know, when I ever ask him about his health, it's very blanketed because he's got a lot of things going on. And he was just like, oh, you know, I'm getting some gout flare-ups. And I'm like, ooh, I haven't heard that in a while.
He's eating that rich meat.
Yeah. And you know what? He was heavier when he was younger. Like, now that he's gotten older, he's really like thinned out a lot. So I think, you know, I don't know. He's not that hefty now, but back in the day, he was a big boy.
When my dad passed away, I told you this story recently, but when my dad passed away, so my uncle walked in on him and he was passed out in the restroom, and we had already like told like all the hospitals and everything that he had passed away, and we were talking to the doctor because we were like, okay, my dad has a bunch of like medical history that he doesn't share with anybody, so we were like trying to figure out how he died. Because he had been like, he'll fall randomly or he'll pass out, but like he won't tell me anything. I'll find out through the family. So he keeps things like really under wrap. So we were talking to the doctor and we were like, can you just please tell us like what is on his files? Like what did he have that like he wasn't telling us about? And they're like, okay, well, reading it to us, and they're like, well, he had cancer, dementia, like naming all these things. And we're like, oh my gosh, all of that. And then the doctor's like, oh, wait, my bad, wrong patient.
That is so funny.
We looked at each other like, what the he didn't say nothing.
He suffered in
We're like,
silence for so
Steve
long.
Delgado. And he's like, oh, Steve no, hold on, wrong patient.
So funny. That is so funny.
Damn, who's the other guy? He was going through it.
Dementia, cancer.
He doesn't even know he has cancer. He
And
forgot.
this is my grandma has cancer. This is where I'm like, I knew it transferred to him. And it would have sucked because if he had dementia, because he was also taking care of my grandma who had dementia.
Gigi, do you still identify as queer?
Yeah. You know, it comes and goes. No. Well, that's why I also like the blanket term as queer, you know, because honestly, personally, most of my sexual experiences have even been with women.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's definitely more on like the, yeah, I'm queer.
She's just letting girls know she's interested.
I'm just letting you know. Interested in both and still single, so maybe I'm the red flag.
Do you have any red flags?
In myself?
She's too perfect. She's too perfect.
Dating.
She's
With
too
people,
perfect. That's a red flag.
It's a red. Thank you.
Do you?
I agree. No.
No, you've said that you haven't had any real serious relationships. Do you think it's because you are you too pure? Are you too without guile or something?
No, I look back at like a lot of like, you know, flings and like lovers or what have you, you know, and a lot of times it was always like unavailability in some sense, you know, and like even more so on my end, like even emotional unavailability, like that's something in myself that I kind of didn't really acknowledge until maybe like the last year. So I feel like it was always, I don't know, a lot of times it was me saying like, no, I don't want this, you know?
Interesting.
Or vice versa. It's like, or maybe I really did want something with someone, but then it was them saying like, no, I'm not in a good place, you know? So it was always just like, I don't know, never really matched up. And also, I think this is an outdated thought cycle I used to have, but when it came to dating, I always thought maybe it was that pure upbringing of like, if I date someone, then it's like I'm going to be locked in for life, and I could never picture myself being locked in with anyone, you know? I'm like, I can't do that. And I don't really think that way anymore.
Yes.
But now I feel much more, you know, like detached and free flowing when it comes to connections and people. But I think that's why so much of like my life has been spent kind of in that locked in mentality. So I would just kind of like avoid it altogether.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you believe in typical like straight heteronormative monogamous relationships, then when you go on a date, you have to be like Stevona's going me. Yeah. when you go on a date with someone on the second date, you have to be like, could this person be the father of my child?
Yeah.
You have to ask them, are you dating to marry? Do you see yourself getting married?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then sorry.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure to see if you can even just have a connection with someone, don't you
Yeah, but
think?
you would know if you want at least not want to marry them, but you know you want to get married.
You definitely want to get married.
I want to get married.
And
I don't know if I want to have kids, but I want to get married.
But when you talk to men and you ask them, they say yes, I want to get married?
No, they say no.
And it reels her in even more.
I mean, if a woman asked me on the first or second date, do you want to get married? Then I think it would freak me out too.
Well, I date to marry. I date because my end goal is to get married. If your end goal is not to get married, then like.
So everybody you're dating currently right now, you're thinking, could I marry this person? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could ever. I'm not opposed to getting married. I'm very much either way. I could go either way. But I'm also not opposed to just like being. If I'm with someone forever and it turns out to be the rest of our lives and we never get married, but like the love is there and the loyalty is there, what have you. Like I don't know. I don't need the license.
That's why I don't believe in breaking up.
What's that mean by? What do you mean?
I've never had an ex that I went back to.
Ever one time?
My last one, my long one.
Yeah.
We only broke up once. I got back together after that, but after that I was like, we're not breaking up anymore. Like if we break up, that's it. I'm moving on to other people. Like that door is closed. So like
you won't even be friends with them?
No.
Don't you think that it's...
I don't need to.
I mean, yeah, but don't you think it's...
Especially if they didn't start off as a friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why?
Because if I didn't get along with you, if you didn't start off as a friend and I didn't get along with you as a lover or even a friend, because I feel like as lovers, the love could still be there even if you guys do have like a friendship. But if that's not there, then no.
Yeah.
Unless I like need you for something, but to be honest, like I don't need anything from these men once I'm done with them, to be honest, because in all
Black Widow.
in all my scenarios, I've just been like, I don't need anything because I have everything I need and more.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, and a lot of the times my relationships do end because there's nothing that I can take from you. I honestly have everything that I need and more. Like you probably get more being with me.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend.
But yeah, like when people be on and off, I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
You're the only one for me. we went to see Lucy Dacus yesterday. It was so funny. And it was at the Greek, and the Greek always shows like who's playing in the future. And it was James Blunt who sings that song that I'm singing right now. But I thought they meant James Blake, who's like an incredible like DJ singer guy, trip like guys. And I was like, man, that concert would be incredible. And then Julia was like, really? And I was like, oh yeah, what an artist. And she's thinking he sings that song. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. That'd be awesome. Just to look at a woman and start crying while that song's going on. That'd be so cool.
I saw your face in a crowded place.
And there's nothing I could do.
I had the chipmunk version to that song.
Is that real?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Greg, we gotta see if that's a real thing.
It is. You can find the
James
chipmunk.
Blunt, the chip. Goodbye, my lover.
Yeah. You can find the chipmunk version of any song, by the way.
Damn, did you guys ever have a crush on the Chipmunks?
No, not into bestiality.
I just had a crush on the Chipettes. I liked all. I didn't like the nerdy
They're like
ones.
children,
but
Steve.
I was a kid when I had the crush.
Okay.
I wasn't an adult. It was when I was watching the Chipmunks. I thought Brittany, the leader, she's like straight up hot. And Eleanor, the little chunky, cute one, I felt like I could get Eleanor. We would be happy together.
Oh my God. That's like me saying I had a crush on Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Did you?
No.
Oh, no, but you know who I did have a crush on? Launchpad McQuack.
Yeah. This man had his own plane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know what? He was kind of stupid, but he treated those boys so well. He was so nice to them.
He treated those boys so well.
He was like a big brother to them. I love that.
Gigi, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Truly
We're going to have to have you
an
back, try to get some of that stuff we got the first time.
Yeah, it's lost forever. Sorry,
Unfortunately,
guys.
it was so good.
Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at ggarcia.tv. That's mainly where I'm at right now. But once we get we're working on stuff. So, just be on the lookout.
They had a podcast. They had a few episodes in the bank, but then somebody, I don't want to say stole their name, but stole the concept, stole the name. And
It's been done. It's been new. So we're working, and we'll come out with some new stuff.
Yes, so if you want to see me and Gigi do some girl talk.
Follow us.
yeah. And thank you guys so much for listening. We're so close. Have a YouTube account. Subscribe to us. Let's get that bad boy to 60. Let's get 20 in no time. But again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, producer Greg. Sorry you had such a rough day. We'll buy you something to eat right now. I mean, this guy needs to eat. Okay, it's like all the hair is falling off from him.
Yeah, he needs a Knott's Berry Farm trip ASAP.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.